Good evening, Indian country. I'm coming to you this evening to allow you to warn your peoples, your family, about this pseudoscience that's out there that sounds catchy. In a few seconds, this video is going to start. It's straight pseudoscience, it's straight garbage. But this is the stuff that's being passed around on Facebook. And we have to debunk these videos that they make like this. Wow, I mean, this video, it was very disturbing that I hope someone have seen this before me and debunked this, but I'm gonna put it on YouTube so the family can see it. This whole video. I mean, watch the whole thing. After the pictures, this video is gonna start, and please, I want y'all to just listen to how they are deceiving the people with this pseudoscience, man. This is garbage. Talking about the Olmecs come from China. What? I've never heard nothing like that. But anyway, as you see these beautiful pictures of these copper-colored people, the original people of the Americas that were found here when the Europeans arrived. We are the oldest people in civilization. Oldest. So when people make videos like this video that's coming up, man, we have to warn our people because they can get caught up into some stuff, man, with these misleading videos. Very misleading videos, very troublesome videos, man. As you look at these beautiful pictures of our people, man, we come in all shades, all colors, all textures of hair, all shades of brown, copper-colored people, man. Copper-colored people. And of course, the animals originated here, all the animals. Kui Mayo did a nice video on that. Y'all should check out Kui Mayo videos. Check out Phoenix Moon, Tasha She, you know, Johnny Aboriginal, you know, Big Chief. You know, we just can't let these videos go unchecked. This video has to be checked, family. This video must be checked. So I'm letting you listen to this music and my voice, get you ready because, man, this is some BS, man. There's some BS Indian country. We cannot let this video go unchecked. And I'm praying that someone, I don't pray, but I hope someone already addressed this bullshit, man. And yeah, man, because we can't let this go. Can't let this go, man. We can't let this go. You know, it's real. I mean, so y'all see it. It's getting ready to start. In a few seconds, man. Listen to how this brother is just information, this false information he's putting out. And just, you know, hit me up. I'm gonna put this on Clubhouse and everything. So, okay, family. So here we go. It's getting ready to start. So I'm gonna end this right about now. Should be starting. No, I got a few more pictures. But when it's started, I'm gonna stop the recording so y'all can hear it perfectly. Here is the thing. This anthropologist saying that America's a nigga.
Previously, I mentioned that the Olmecs and the Chinese combined to produce the Red Indian. and I will delve deeper into that right now. In the 4th century, a Chinese missionary under the Shang dynasty named Ho Xian, or Hu Xian, came to America in search of his people, who were the East Yi, meaning the black Chinese. When the Chinese arrived, they encountered the Olmecs, who had already been living on the land. The Chinese considered the black Olmecs as the descendants of the black Chinese, Yi people. Hu Xian's people settled and mixed in with the Olmecs and produced the Aboriginal. The Olmecs gave the lower kingdom to the Aborigines. The Aborigines called the land Mujian, which is a combination of the Olmecan Ashuric Aramaic word Mu, which means one, and the Chinese word Zhan, named after Hu Shan. Did you know that there was a province in China today called Zhan, and that this is the site of one of the only Chinese pyramids? Mujian became Mijian and eventually became Mekjian, or Mexico. The Aborigines called themselves Mexicans, and they remixed with the Olmecs, which resulted in a sub-tribe called the Hopi. The Hopi clan was taught the religion of the Dogon and given the secret of the stars. Several hundred years later, the Hindu East Indians arrived in Mexico, and they bred with the Mexicans and produced Mongoloid tribe types like the Inuit and Eskimo, who migrated far north into Canada and Alaska. Out of the Mexican also came the Aztec, Inca, Toltec, Mixtec, and the Mayans, which were the 5 barbarian nations. The Mayans rejected their Olmec ancestry and gravitated towards their Chinese ancestry. The Mayans began practicing human sacrifices and cannibalism. The Mayans were banished by the original Olmecs and were told to leave or be destroyed. The Mayan relocated and sailed east to Asia and mixed in the Mongols of Southeast Asia and became known as Angkor. Today, the Angkors no longer go by that ancient name. Their modern-day name is Cambodian. Yes, the Cambodians are really the Native Americans that were banished. This is why the ruins in ancient Cambodia are identical to the ruins of the Mayan Empire. History claims that the Mayan civilization just vanished. The word Mayan means illusions because it seems as if they disappeared overnight. The Mayans didn't just disappear. An entire ethnic group just simply vanished overnight. They simply packed up and moved to the other side of the planet. And you might be wondering, am I saying that the Red Indian is an Aborigine? Well, the Red Indian is a result of mixing between Olmecs and Chinese. This is why you have some Native Americans with dark skin and Negroid features, and some with light skin and Mongoloid features. Olmecs were indigenous Americans. Chinese were immigrants. Mexicans are Aborigines, who were the combination of Olmecs and Chinese. The East Indians that came here were also immigrants. As for the tribes of North America, the tribes of North America were a result of Olmec and Mexicans. However, some of the Mexicans continued to mix with the Chinese and produced yellow tribes like Pueblo and Manso or Mansu. The yellow tribes mixed in with each other and produced tribes like the Chinook, Tutuni, Kalupaya, Chumash, Oinut, and others. Tribes broke off from each other and produced even more tribes that settled in California. The darker-skinned tribes were the tribes that managed to contain much of the Olmec blood, like the Arapaho, Arikara, the Blackfoot, Cheyenne, Crow, Apache, Mandan, the Pawnee, and the Shoshone. In the 15th century, all of this changed. The Europeans arrived for the first time, the Spaniards, French, British, Italians, and Portuguese. The Europeans mixed in with all of the tribes, black, red, and yellow, and they produced even more stocks. Today you will find white Native American tribes. The tribes that did not wish to mix with the Europeans were destroyed. The Incans were destroyed by the Spanish, who stole their culture and are now calling themselves Hispanic, which is a term that was popularized and some say even coined by Ronald Reagan. As far as the darker tribes or the black tribes, the Olmecs migrated into two directions. One group of the Olmecs migrated into the eastern islands near the Bermuda Triangle and settled in the islands of Jamaica, Haiti, the Bahamas, Trinidad, and Barbados. The Olmecs set up colonies on these islands and became known as the Arawaks. These were the people Christopher Columbus encountered. The Spanish and the British mixed in with the Arawaks. The Olmecs of Haiti went back to their African roots and began practicing their religion called Yoruba, which is mistakenly called Voodoo. The Arawaks mixed in with the Portuguese and produced a tribe of half Negroid, half Latin called Taino. The Taino were invaded by another tribe called the Caribs, who were sadistic cannibalists. The Caribs migrated to an island known as the Caribbean. The other group of Olmecs traveled north and settled in Southeast America and became known as the Washoe, which means raccoon people. These people settled into areas of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Georgia. The Washoe mixed with the Malian Moors of Africa who also came over. The result of this mixing was a tribe of pure-blooded black Native Americans called Yamasee or Yamasee. The Yamasee resided in Georgia and were the mother tribe of all dark southeastern and eastern tribes. Yamasee is a direct descendant of the Olmecs through the Washita Moors. The Washita is a derivative of the term Wichita, who are known as Kitkitish, which means raccoon eyes, which refer to the black Native Americans because of their faces. Thus the term coons was used to identify a black person. The Yamasee lived in Georgia on the Ocmulgee River near Macon, Georgia, and where the early Yamasee mounds were discovered. Today, Macon is also the home of the Harriet Tubman African American Museum. The Yamasee is the mother tribe of the Creeks, the Seminoles, the Apaches, the Choctaw, the Chickasaw, the Catawbas, and the Cherokee. In the 1700s, the British, French, and Spaniards mixed into these tribes. In 1715, the Yamasee rose in rebellion against the English and allied with the Spaniards. Some of the Yamasee Creeks migrated to what is known as Savannah, Georgia, and became outlaws under the tribal name Yamacraw. The British began taking women and children into slavery. The native black American men mixed in with runaway African slaves. A war broke out between the Yamasee and the British in 1715, the Yamasee Uprising. Throughout the 1700s, many tribes were slaughtered. The remnants of these tribes band together to create an alliance. The newly formed tribes of Yamasee, Coosa, Cowan, Congaree were known as the Catawbas. The Catawbas spoke a dialect of ancient Kushite language, which was bits and pieces of the original Olmec African language. The Catawbas lived in South Carolina and were enemies of the Shawnee and the Iroquois, who were tribes that had mixed with the French and became almost full-blooded European. Some of the Catawbas joined the Alabama Creeks and mixed in with the Spaniards, losing much of their African traits. After the Yamasee Uprising, Native American power collapsed in Georgia and Alabama. Many of the Yamasee escaped to Florida, where they joined runaway African slaves to form what later would be called Runaways or Seminoles. Other tribes which came from this union were the Oconee and the Hitichi. The Oconee relocated from the Oconee River and moved westward to the Chattahoochee, where they mixed with the Lower Creeks, which resided in the areas of Pensacola and Tallahassee, Florida.